Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the Bearded Barbarian. Hey, here are my two guests. Please introduce yourselves. Mark.
Hey, everybody. I'm Mike.
I'm Mark from the Nerd Bar.
I didn't bring my beer. I forgot. Everybody's got a beer but me.
I got plenty. I'll drink your share.
I'm sure you will. All right, let's check and see who we got here. Got a few people shuffling in. I popped out the chat, so let's see what we got here. All right, so it looks like we got Las Cruces 1971. Thanks for joining us. Everything Nerd Reviews. How you doing, buddy? Jedi John is here. We got a Jedi in the house. That's awesome. Joe M is here. Hey, Joe, how you doing, buddy? Pop the Heat. How you doing? All the way. I believe he's from Australia. No, he's from Ireland. I don't know what time it is there. Check me if I'm wrong. I'm not good at this. JB's in the house. Hey, JB, how you doing? Jason.
It's probably 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, it probably is. It's probably very early. I appreciate everybody coming out, no matter what time it is. It's 7 o'clock Eastern. I guess, Mark, it's what, 6 there? Something like that?
Yes, it's 6 p.m. here.
6. And Mike, what time is it there?
5 o'clock.
5 o'clock. Okay. Very good. I appreciate everybody coming out. Let's see who else we got here. Zach Bonifer. How you doing? No beer? Come on. Yeah, I hear you. I cut back. I actually had to drop my wife off. She was having a colonoscopy today. So she was drinking Kool-Aid and no, it wasn't Kool-Aid. It was something and eating broth. And I was eating a pizza last night right in front of her. She was none too pleased. So see who else. Pork chop. Pork chop's in the house. Is this where the nerds hang out? Just one nerd is here. And I'll let you figure out who that is. Well, maybe 2.
I'm a geek. I'm not a nerd.
Kate Titus, how you doing, buddy?
Good to see you. It's definitely like 3 a.m. for Ken right now.
I think he's 13 hours ahead. So it must be like 8 in the morning there. Is that right?
Yeah. Ken's already done breakfast and getting ready to start his day. So
right. That's exactly right.
Make sure you guys
everything reviews. I got you, buddy.
Tequila. La Cruz, this is into the tequila.
Tequila. Yeah. That's a bit much for me. I was never into it. Even when I was in college, go to some of those parties, I couldn't manage the tequila. Not my thing.
Tequila makes me nutty, and I'm nutty without it. So imagine
I was going to say I can't imagine it getting any worse than it already is.
Yeah.
Titus said that he ate some breakfast pizza. That's awesome. All right, so what we're going to do is, while more people shuffle in, we'll sort of talk about what we're talking about doing for the evening. So I sort of set up this live and invited a couple of my guests here, and I thought about what types of things could we do. I don't just have a live to say we're having one. So we're talking about maybe we could tell stories. I love to tell stories. I'm getting to an age where I should be sitting in a rocking chair and just telling stories of the stupid things I've done in my life. So I felt like maybe this would be a good start going forward with that. So what I thought I would do is see if a couple of my friends here would join me and tell a few stories, some funny things or interesting things. Doesn't have to be real long. Could be, whatever it is. And just see what, and hopefully it'll be something that'll be fun and interesting and it'll spur on comments. And then for you folks in the chat, if anybody's interested in joining us, we will go ahead and put the link in there. And you can join us and tell a story. If you don't feel comfortable being on camera, you can just do your audio and turn off your camera. I'm fine with that. And then I've got a couple pops that I'll give away for people that, the best stories. And it'll be the stories will be based on what people in the chat and what the 3 of us think are stories that are interesting or funny or whatever. And then we'll just sort of, be able to give some things away. So here's a couple of the pops that I'm looking to give away. Pichu, it's a flock Pichu. Hopefully people think that's cool. I'm not into Pokemon. I thought it was Pikachu. That's how much I know about Pokemon. I have a strawberry Sour Patch. That one's a cool one. And if we have 3, I've got Hormone Monstrous. from Big Mouth. So hopefully some cool pops that people will think is interesting. So we're going to go ahead and say, see what we can do. So what do you think? Does anybody have a story that they would like to start off with? Or something that's happened either in their past or recently, or if not, I'll start. What do you think?
I can start with a story that is one of my favorite stories to tell. It's not mine, but it was with a guy I used to work with. And I'm telling you, it's one of my favorite stories to tell. So I was a bouncer at a place called Mississippi Nights in St. Louis a long time ago. And it was just they'd have live music and stuff there. So one of the other bouncers, lived in around the area, and it's kind of a bad area. And he said one night he walked over to the gas station. He lived in this apartment building. There's a big field, between him and like a gas station. And so he went over there. It was like 1, 2 in the morning. He went over there to get something to eat, and he goes in, buys something, and then he pays, and he's walking outside, and I'm sorry, I forgot a part. So as he's walking in to the gas station, there's this big, huge Samoan guy. And he said the guy was huge, and he goes, "Hey man, I ran out of gas. Do you have a couple dollars?" And he's like, "No." And he opens up his wallet, and shows him, they didn't have any money, So that was after he paid. And so he starts walking back through the field, and all of a sudden he hears these big footsteps coming after him. He turns around, and it's that Samoan guy just running after him. So he just happened to have some mace on him, and he said he whips out the mace and sprays this guy in the face. And the guy's like, "Ah!" And he falls to his knees. And when he does, he looks in his hand, and it had the guy's driver's license in it because he dropped it when he showed his wallet to him. And he said he took the wallet and took off running. Oh, I love that story, man. That's great.
Well, that's what he gets. That's what was coming to him. Yeah, he definitely did. That was a good one. What about you, Mike? You have any a story you'd like to tell?
Well, he's talking about the big guy running. It just reminded me of something where I was the big guy running before. Back when I was a correctional officer, I was on the special extractions team, and I was the shield man. So I was the first one through, and I was about 350 pounds at that point. And I was wide enough. So I used to carry 2 shields. Great. Go through the door, you make a point, everybody's behind, and then, straight out and clear the room. And there was a problem once, and we get the call, and we gear up, and we go running through, and we're coming in and gearing up, get ready to go in, and they open the cell door, and I come through, and there was like 4 of them in this little room, and all they saw was the double shield, and all of them stopped, like they were flooding everything and going crazy. And as soon as they saw the double shield, all of them stopped, dropped to the ground with their hands on their head, and one guy screaming, he's like, "It's supposed to be his day off. You're not supposed to be here today." They had planned this out.
Sure.
For when I wasn't going to be there, because they knew if I was there and I was coming in, things were going to go bad. And so still, it was double shield, and it just reminded me about, big guy running. But I was the big guy running.
Hey, Pork Chop has a question that's pretty good, I guess.
All right, go ahead.
It says, "Where do we submit our stories if we can't be on cam?"
I can send them my Instagram. I guess we could read a story. I mean, it'd be a lot of writing maybe for people if that's what they'd like to do. My Instagram is at Bearded Barbarian Collectibles. So if you have a story that you'd like to sort of write and put in there, I'll read it. Be happy to read it if you want. I just didn't think that most people would want to do it because usually stories have a tendency to be a little longer than maybe like, whatever, just like a one-line joke or whatever. So you're welcome to submit them there. So it's at Bearded Barbarian Collectibles. So if you want to do that, and I'll put the link as soon as I tell my story, I'll put up the link. And for people that want to get on camera, and we'll put you in the background and we'll pull you forward one at a time to sort of have those stories. So I just thought I'd sort of go through and tell a few other stories, and then we'll go to the crowd and see what people want to do. So I have a couple different stories that I can tell. I'll try to keep them sort of brief. This one is really embarrassing. If my wife knows I'm telling this story, she's probably going to hate me. but I'm going to tell it anyway because I mean, who's watching? Just except for everyone on the internet. So there was a circumstance where I was going to my cousin's wedding. My cousin was getting married out in Northern California. Okay, and he doesn't live anywhere near there. So it was a destination wedding, this really kind of nice place. So we all go out to this destination wedding, and the night before is the party. The party gets together and has like a dinner, a fancy dinner. You know, the groom's party and the bride's party. So we go to this thing, and I'm all dressed up nice, and I show up, and we sit down. We're getting ready, and we're at a long table, and the waitress comes over, and there's certain things you can pick, and we're at soup time. And let me preface this by saying I'm lactose intolerant. Okay, I have real lactose problems. So I come and they're like, these are the two different kinds of soup, and one of them was cream of mushroom, and one was like some other thing. And I'm like, yeah, I'll have the cream of mushroom. And my wife leans over to me and she goes, you know, that's made out of cream, right? And I said, yeah, it should be fine. It's not a problem. You know, my stomach will be fine. So they go ahead and get the soup, and then the dinner comes out, and we all had a nice time. We were talking about different things. As dinner's starting to wind up, there's maybe 5 minutes left. I feel a grumble in my stomach, like a real grumble. And so I leaned over and I said, I think I need to use the restroom. So I got the waitress. And I said, where is the restroom? And she goes, oh, it's right over there. We're in a room. It's just us. We've taken the whole restaurant out. We're in a room, and the bathroom is like right next to the table, like on the other side of the table. And I'm thinking to myself, no. I mean, I you know, it's not going to be just, it's going to be smells and sounds and all kinds of terrible things going to happen here. And I'm going to ruin everyone's time. And I said, no, I can't do that. I was like, look, I can't do it. We just need to get out of here. We just need to get out of here and drive back to the hotel, and I'll do my business there. Okay. So we get in the, you know, so everyone's like, yeah, and everyone's hugging. And I was just like, okay, we got to go. So they're all mad at me for trying to hustle out. So I hustled. My wife and I got in the car, and we're driving back. And I had forgotten that it took us about 15 or 20 minutes to get here, because it was in this windy road in California on like the cliffs. I don't know if anyone's seen that windy road that's along the cliffs of California. So we're winding, I'm flying around the corners and so on and so forth. So we pull into the hotel as fast as we can. We're in one of those days in hotels where there are outlets to the outside. You're not in a hotel, you're in like a motel. And so I ran over. So I said, I got to go. So I got out of the car, jumped, and ran as fast as I could to the door. And I had one of those little card readers. And I pushed it into the thing, and I with the handle, and I pushed it in again, and it wouldn't work. It wouldn't read the card. And then at that moment, I realized I'm done. So I turned around, leaned against the door, and crapped my pants. And and it was just like, it completely just went completely out of me. And I leaned down, and I realized I'm so defeated. I'm like so defeated. And so it gets worse. This is when it really gets worse. So my wife comes over, and she came over and says, what is that? And she leans down, looks down. I said, what? I had crapped so much. It had poured down my pant leg onto the ground, and it looked like Sloppy Joe. It was that same kind of consistency as Sloppy Joe. It was like, crunchy peanut butter, and poured all over the concrete, like a huge puddle. I mean, this puddle is growing like this. And so I was like, just open the door. So she opened the door. I run in. As I'm walking, every step I take, I'm putting this poo on the carpet, one after another. And I run into the bathroom, take all my clothes off, throw them against the wall because I just want to get in the shower, and it just splatters everywhere. I jump into the shower, clean myself off, and so I get out, and it looked like a crime scene. Seriously, if you'd gone to like a crime scene, you're like, somebody got slaughtered in here. It was a disaster. So I get out. My wife's being nice. She's like, look, we'll clean it up. So we're cleaning up all the mess and everything like that. And so we clean it up, and then we're trying to clean the carpet. You couldn't. I mean, it's ruined the carpet, completely ruined the carpet, because there was just, every footprint was circulated by the poo. I mean, you could see my perfect footprint along the way. So we cleaned all this stuff up, and while we're doing it, I said, what about the sidewalk? I mean, the sidewalk, but there was a huge puddle of poo. And she goes, we'll just deal with it in the morning. It's fine. So I get to put my pajamas on, I get ready to go to bed. I hear a commotion outside the door, people talking outside my door. And I'm like, I wonder what's going on. So I open the door, and this is the God's honest truth. There was 8 people standing in a circle around the poop. staring at the poop that I permanently stained on this sidewalk. And they just looked, and then they looked up at me like, and I just looked, I was like, what do I do here? So I couldn't say anything. My wife was like, somebody got sick. And they said, this isn't sick. This is a disaster. And just like, I don't know what to do. We'll clean it up. You got to clean it up. And they made a big scene and they wandered off. And oh my God, it was so horrible. I had to pay extra. I used my parents' credit card to get the room. A month later, my parents are like, "What did you do to the room?" I was like, "I don't know. What are you talking about?" We had to pay $50 extra for cleaning fees and I was like, "Oh well, I'll take care of that," But it was, I mean, oh my God, it was so horrible.
That was a real shitty trip, man.
That was a shitty.
I just picture you scrubbing the poop off the carpet and your wife standing over you and just looking up and going, "It's okay if you don't love me anymore. I understand."
It was a 2-man job. And the thing is when we tried to clean up the poop outside, we tried to pour soda down thinking, oh, the bubbles will eat. It wouldn't even, nothing. I guarantee if I went to that same hotel, there'd be a permanent stain on that sidewalk.
Nothing beats shit. Rock, paper, scissors, shit beats all. That's all.
It's gonna happen, man.
So that was quite embarrassing on many levels. The interesting thing is the next day we went up to northern California to the Redwoods. I put all my clothes, because it ruined all my clothes, into a bag. I traveled 2 hours due north, and I dug a hole and put it in the hole to get rid of the evidence. So.
Someone's going to find that and think somebody was murdered, not realizing somebody just shit themselves.
Maybe they'll probably do DNA on the poop, and I'm in big trouble.
You're right. It's funny because my wife still gives me crap about this. Is when we first met, I think it had been 20 years ago or something, and we would go out and drink and whatever. And there was one time we stayed home. I didn't drink a drop. I was sober as a church mouse, and I remember we were sleeping in bed, and this is her apartment I was at, and we had probably maybe been going together maybe a month or something like that, and I had to pee really bad, but I didn't want to get up. So then I remember having a dream where I was peeing, and I remember I woke up and I'm like, oh my God, I think I did it. And I just rubbed my hand across. I got up out of bed and stood on the side, and I just rubbed my hand across and just right into a big puddle of pee. And then right then he wakes up and looks over and goes, "What happened?" And I just went, I peed the bed. Instead of even lying,
there's no point denying that.
And that still gets brought up everyone. My kids even, because the kids know the story now. And they're like, "Yeah, remember Dad? Mom said you peed the bed when you were first going out."
I can put both your stories together. Luckily, it wasn't me.
Exactly right. All right.
Me, my wife, my brother, a bunch of friends that went out, and there's this friend of my wife's there. And so we figured, those two might go good together. So we introduced them and gave them their own space, and we all got drunk that night and, having a good old time. And well, my brother winds up going home with her, and they go to her place, and he, they had their fun and did whatever, and he passed out and shit the bed. Just straight up passed out, and I guess she woke up like, what the hell is that? And he shit all over inside her bed, and he was passed out. She couldn't even wake him up. He was out. And
lesson learned, I suppose.
Yeah.
Well, all right. So everyone, I just put the link to the feed in. If anybody wants to join us, they're welcome to. I'll look and check. If somebody sent me let's see, in my Instagram, I got a story in the Instagram. I'll go ahead and read that.
All right.
This is from Pop the Heat. So Pop the Heat, I'm going to go ahead and read your story. I'll try to put whatever inflections I can from what I can read. I'm reading it from his perspective. I worked at a hotel a few years ago, and I was at the front desk when I heard a loud slapping sound, and then followed by a few more, and noticed an altercation between a couple. I went over and restrained the man in full Nelson, as I thought he was getting violent. But turned out the lady was hitting him, and I was making it easier for her. LOL. Oops. That was nice of you to do that. Really get on her side.
Did he at least cheer her on too? Like, yeah,
Come on, smack him.
Go for the body.
He must have deserved it. He must have deserved it. He did something wrong.
Well, I tell you right now, you have definitely set the bar for crapping your pants stories, because that thing was like had so many levels to it that it's just going to be hard to beat.
Worse. I thought it was like over when I was, I crapped myself, and then it got worse, and then it got worse, and then it got worse, and it was just absolutely horrible. The good thing is, I gave my cousin his gift for the wedding, and he was like, "Oh, that's a really great gift." When I told him the story, it made his day. He told me that made my day. I told him on his
gift that keeps on giving, man.
That was the thing at his reception. I told him that story, sort of as my gift. So he enjoyed that very much. So,
wow.
Yep. So let's see. I've got another story I'll tell while we're waiting to see if anybody else is interested.
Did you see Jason Zickfu's comment? He said, "I was waiting for the hotel Bearded Barbarian stayed at."
What did he say?
He said, "I was waiting to hear if it was the hotel that Bearded Barbarian stayed." The couple were fighting each other.
Oh, no. I had nothing to do with that one. No.
Which would have been understood. That would have been justified for sure.
Mm-hmm, that's for sure. It was really sort of their fault. Their little card. If the card had opened the door, I would have made it. It's just once it realized, and I was just totally, that was it. I couldn't do anything. So
wow.
Total defeat. There was one time when I was much younger, and I just gotten out of college, and I used to stay with my parents briefly while I was, started working on a job that I didn't get paid that much for. So I was working inside a correctional institution, doing a little bit of work, etc. And I came home one day, and my dad said, "I got good news and bad news." He said, "The good news is I found another job in another area of the state." And I said, "Oh, what's the bad news?" "You're moving out." So I didn't have any way to stay. So I was like, "Well, what am I going to do?" He's like, "Oh, I'm sure you'll figure it out. No problem. Don't worry." So I didn't have any money. I wasn't making any money. So I had to find some place. So I found a place in the little town I was working, and it looked like a haunted house. I swear to God, it looked like a haunted house. And so I went in there to get a room, just a single room. It didn't have a bathroom, and a bathroom was attached down the hall. So I went down there to take a look at it. So I looked at it, and it was bare minimum. And like I said, it really was a haunted house, but I didn't have any money, so I had no choice. So I said, "I'll take it." I said, "The problem is it had one of those old clawfoot tubs. You know what I'm talking about? And didn't have a shower. And I shower every day. Every morning I get up, I shower. So I was like, I can't bathe like an old man from the 16th century every morning. I have to shower." And the lady downstairs, like, "Well, in my apartment area, you can use my shower. It's no problem. And just, what time do you usually get up?" I said, "I get up at 6 a.m. Will that work?" "Oh, that's no problem. You get in there before me and everything's fine." So fine. So the first day I go down there, no problem. Got in, got out real quick. Then like the end of the week, the upcoming weekend came. So I went back to see my parents like 2.5 hours down the road and stayed with them. And it was also a holiday on the Monday. So for 3 days I was away. So I came back the following, Tuesday morning to get up to go downstairs to do this. And I'm not sure what this lady thought, if she thought I'm not going to be using it anymore, that I'd found alternate. So I walked down the stairs at the same time. It was like 5 minutes of 6. And I opened the door. And as I opened the door, there's a living room, and there's a little hallway, and then there's the bathroom over to the left that you can't see. So I opened the door, and it was pitch black, except for the light coming out of the bathroom. And I didn't mention that this lady is 80 or so years old, about 80 years old, African-American lady, and she's probably 4 foot tall, maybe. Has a little wig on top of her head. A nice, real nice lady, but, so I go in and quietly close the door because I didn't want to wake her up. As soon as I did that, she walks out and stands stark naked right outside the bathroom and stares at me, and just stares at me like this. And I'm in darkness. So I'm thinking, can she see me? I'm thinking I'm invisible. I'm like, I must be invisible. She's staring at me. I don't know what's going on here. And she just stands there and stares at me, doesn't say anything. And so I was like, I convinced myself she can't see me. So I slowly turn around. And like I said, it's a haunted house. So every step is like, and I'm sorry, my hand's shaking as I reach for the doorknob and turn, and I'll open the door and run at full speed up the stairs and lie on my bed and weep. I wept on my pillow because I cannot unsee the things I saw. Things were not where they should be. They were never started there. I don't know where they ended up, but they did not start. And it was horrifying. It was just, to this day, I close my eyes, I occasionally can see it. And it was just, it was sort of interesting. So I never used went down to use the shower again. So what I did from then on out for 2.5 years now, I crouched in the tub as low as I could. I got this little hose thing, and I would shower like this. And it's just like, that was a better chance. Yeah, it was crazy.
Did she ever say anything to you that she saw you?
No, she never said anything that she saw me, but about a week later she goes, "Oh, I noticed you weren't using the shower anymore. You're welcome to come down." No, I said, no. I found other arrangements. It's fine. Don't worry. Thank you, though.
Were you trusting with every step when the creaky floor was like, "I see you. I saw you. I see you."
It's like, of course, every step. I mean, it was like
you're naked. You're naked.
It was crazy. It was absolutely crazy. I just, anyway. So it was one of those type of things you had to be there for. But I'm certainly glad most people did. All right, we got one from Samurai Ken.
Samurai Ken
got for us. All right, Ken. Let's see what we got. Hey, Ken, how you doing, buddy?
Hello.
Hey,
Morning,
Ken.
Can you hear me?
I sure can. We can hear you.
Okay. Well, you guys are breaking up. All right. Well, I got it's like 3 stories, but they're short. When I first moved to Japan, when I moved to Indonesia.
Okay.
All right. So the first time when I moved to Japan, it was like 34 years back. I went to the country area where there's only 2,000 people living. I went on a program where I was doing volunteer work, but at the same time I was teaching English and checking documents. So I went to the village, and when I first got to the train station, they had the bathroom, which was about maybe, I'd say about 100 meters from the station. At this time, I weighed at probably about 140 pounds. I dropped my passport and wallet down the toilet hole. I mean, this is not a.
Did you do that on purpose, or was this an accident of some kind?
It was an accident.
Nice.
I was checking it, checking and stuff like that. And I dropped it down the hole. And it's like one of these old type of johns, that you have to vacuum out. Well, I figured it wasn't going to be too deep. I tried to reach in and pick it up. I fell down into the Duluth. I was stuck there for 5 days.
Are you serious?
Screaming. I mean, I had shit up to my breasts.
5 days? Are you serious?
5 days. Yeah, because this town has maybe 2,000 people that were living there at that time, 34 years ago. And it was just like, help, help. So finally, luckily, like 5 days later, somebody wanted to use the bathroom and heard me screaming. They had to call the fire department, which is like 6 or 7 towns away. So another 4 or 5 hours for them to get there, dig a hole to get me out.
You were buried in shit for 5 days?
I was buried in shit in the loo.
I don't want to know what you ate or drank, do I?
This just goes to confirm that Ken is the most interesting man on YouTube.
Yeah.
I mean, for the longest time, I thought he was an Asian man, and then finally, when I get to see him, it turns out he's a white guy. He's whiter than me, and now I find out he's
we were all in the same boat on that one. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Ken, you got it, buddy. You got it.
Another story related to the same thing. When I first had moved there, I took the Shinkansen, which is an express train. I was up all night, from the flight, everything like that. I get on the train. I start to fall asleep. I had long hair at that time, not like I am now. And I feel something pull my hair. I was like, what the shit? And nothing. I was like, man, what's going on? This happened like 4 or 5 times. Finally, I pretended like I was falling asleep, and I was asleep. And all of a sudden, I turn around. This little girl tried grabbing my hair because she'd never seen blonde hair before. And I was like, what the hell are you doing? And she's like, oh, I'm putting in my bag to sell some of my friends. Never seen blonde hair in the village. Now, another
That's
story.
what happened to your hair.
I had hair back then.
So she was successful.
Don't worry, I know.
Were you there too, Mark? Or
Yeah, she actually got all mine, believe it or not. This was all because of a little girl wanted to sell it, and I couldn't say no to a little kid,
Another story, with the house I was living at, it had a vacuum style toilet. So it's a squatter inside the house. I mean, I have to heat up wood to make water for the bathtub. I have to go outside and get water and fill it up. And it was a squatter. I've never used a squatter before. So for like 2 weeks, I didn't take a crap. I just couldn't do it. I've never used a squatter before. So I went from like 150 pounds up to about maybe 170, 80. I looked like I was pregnant.
You're full of crap. You were literally full of crap.
Totally full of shit. I went to the doctors. They gave me a shot and gave me some medicine. So within about maybe 6 hours after I got home, I mean, I had to go. I took two of the small tables that they have that use like a squatting type table. I put it between the john. I broke out the wall and I sat on 2 tables just to take a crap. And it took me about a good 6 months to get used to using a squatter. So this is my first experience in Japan. Now, when I moved to Indonesia, I lived there for 8 years. When I went there for the first time, I ate something that looked like a gray meatballs with noodles. Mm-hmm. Well, I didn't speak Indonesian at that time. Okay, I ordered it. I ate it. It was something on the street. I got really sick for like 2 weeks. Vomit, diarrhea. I didn't know what the hell was going on. I went to the hospital. The doctor said, man, if you waited another 6 or 7 hours, you would have been dead because I had lost so much weight. Bad fevers, everything like that. So I was in the hospital about another week. Got out, and then I started to research. Where do these meatballs come from? Well, I found a little factory where they make them. They take rats from the sewage line, put it in a grinder, and make meatballs. And people eat this stuff.
Well, one person did.
And I mean, it's a common food there. Right. But it about killed me.
Yeah. Maybe I had a disease too. I mean, you know.
Hey, I had the Bearded Barbarian lights. Yay.
They were probably loving you over there. The first time they some crazy round eye shows up and
I got a special can for you. There you go.
Let's tell him some meatballs.
Crazy round eye, we know our rat balls. Then he shit 10 pounds.
Oh, brother. I'm getting a real theme about funny stories and sort of the idea of what everyone thinks is interesting. A lot of crap
into a real shitty stream, so that's why Geeky Mama Bear can't get on. It's just, you know,
4 different devices, and they won't let live for some reason. Oh, that's interesting.
Juliana, I had a. Well, actually, yeah, it's weird. I turned my phone on just so I could watch the chat, and it took a while to load. I had to keep hitting live and go back out and come back in, and then my phone loaded.
I've got it on my phone live here.
Yeah,
do you?
I have it now. So
interesting.
Well, mine just started dying out. It was just like you guys were just freezing.
Oh, well, like I said, from what I can see from the other 3 people, I can sort of see, what's going on. So
Pork Chop says, Mark, you should do the rat ball challenge on your video.
What you're going to do, a rat ball challenge?
I'll eat me a rat ball. You kidding me? I'll try anything once.
Are you talking about a ball made out of rat or a rat's ball? Because those could mean either one.
They took the rats and they literally ground them up with the hair and all, made meatballs, and voila, there's your food.
You got to be careful about that mystery meat. You know what I'm saying? I've gone to a lot of interesting places where people are like, try this. I live in Virginia, and there's certain areas of Virginia where they have something, sort of a famous little stew called Brunswick stew. And different parts of the state where you go and you get Brunswick stew, you can't really identify it's the same thing. It's not like chicken soup is all basically noodles, chicken, blah. In Brunswick stew, it's usually beef chunks and possibly chicken, but certain parts of the state, it's raccoon, et cetera, et cetera. So you got to be careful where you're getting your Brunswick stew from.
I've eaten raccoon. Raccoon was, it was like pulled raccoon, like pulled pork. But once you sauce it up and all that, you couldn't tell the difference between that and pulled pork. You're like,
Why would people eat small woodland creatures? Come
Yeah,
on.
I
they get
know.
stuck
I
in
know.
the
Mike knows
dumpster
that,
and-
dude.
Come on, don't you want some squirrel pie?
Nah, squirrel pie.
I've had squirrel jerky.
Yeah, I've had squirrel pie, really. You think I'm joking? Squirrel pie.
I believe it. I would eat it. I didn't get this
Yeah,
slimmer's
everybody-
body from passing up on mystery meat. I can tell you that right now. I'll try
Yeah,
it.
we got a couple people that's saying that they're having problems loading the stream.
I think I know what's going on. There's two images that are the exact same, so make sure that you're not the wrong one, because like I used this image for that video that I did explaining about the live, and I'm thinking maybe somebody went to the wrong one. I don't know that that's the case. I'm just saying this. If you see that image of me looking really handsome and dapper, I use that same image for the live as well as from 2 days ago on Monday, where I actually posted the thing.
Oh,
So
your promo?
Yeah, I had to
promo,
back
so-
out on my phone, restart my phone, and then I went back in, and then like I said, I had to hit live a couple times.
oh, I didn't realize it was doing that.
So
I think it's something with YouTube because you guys are breaking up right now.
Oh, interesting.
2 days ago on the TV, Japan actually finally made a law where they're going to stop all these squatting toilets because they had problems with kids at the elementary school.
Mhm.
Their foot getting stuck in those little squatters. So now they decided they're going to cut and put all regular sit toilets instead of squatters.
Interesting.
I'm telling you,
I don't know.
Doseki needs to call Ken and make him the new most interesting man in the world.
Someone says that nothing is loading. I wonder what that means. I mean, I guess I
Is
don't
it too late to go back and delete your promo so they don't get confused?
I could. I mean, like I said, if you go to the video on Monday, that's not it. This is the one for Wednesday. So you just need to make sure that you're at the right one.
Oh, Geeky Mama Bear just said it's YouTube and nothing's going to load.
Oh, YouTube's having problems in general.
Well, I'm on it. It seems to be working for me.
I'm on YouTube. I got my I broke out the chat. Seems to be
oh,
coming.
see, I just tried to go on the stream on the stream on the TV.
Yeah.
Nothing.
It's YouTube.
Yep.
On my phone,
YouTube's
it
messing
said-
with us.
My phone.
They don't
was
like
saying that
our
it's-
crap stories. Is that what you're saying?
Pork Chop just said, I guess I'm going to win the giveaway. Because nobody else can get on.
Let me see what I got.
It's okay now. I think what it is too many people using it at one time.
Too many
Everybody wants to
people.
get on here.
I know.
But it looks like a couple other channels are having the same problem, though.
Oh, you think because it's like Veterans Day, a lot of people are doing lives all on the same day? Is that what you're thinking?
That's what I think is going on.
Yeah, I didn't think about that.
Did you
Interesting.
hear about what I said about 2 days ago that changed the law?
Which law?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They got
Yeah,
rid
we
of
heard you.
squatters.
Oh, right.
Yeah. See, I can't even bring up anything on YouTube on the TV. I can see the it'll load the thumbnails and stuff, but you try to go to, and it's not just your channel. I tried a couple different ones, and
Well, it's saying that there's an overload, so I think there's too many people using it right now.
Cleon, you broke the internet.
Congratulations. That's
Your
actually a big
shitty
deal.
stream broke YouTube.
You got too much Freon, Cleon.
Yeah, after this live, I'm calling Dos Equis. I'm saying, oh, wait, now I can't hear anything.
Nobody's talking.
No, Cleon was.
Oh,
Can't hear him. Ken, I think
but
Ken's
you can
faking.
hear me.
Ken's faking.
I can't
I
hear
know,
them, but I
but
can
it's-
hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you,
Yeah.
and I can't hear Cleon. Did you mute yourself or something?
No, he's not muted.
Well, this will be a good story for the next time.
Yeah. So this one time on Bearded Barbarian stream, we were talking so much
Talking
shit.
about shit and
broke
everything
YouTube.
went to the shitter.
Let's see. Bearded Barbarian says he crapped his pants again the same way he did at the hotel. Okay, well, I didn't think I could still read sign language anymore, but
Barbarian farts blew the internet.
Pork Chop said, did he pay his internet bill? Oh shit!
Yeah, but we can't hear you, Cleon.
Yeah, we can't hear nothing. Wow.
Let's just blame it on Geeky Mama Bear.
And now he's gone.
No. Maybe he's got a refresh or something. So I swear where he lives is like dial up. So
and Mark.
Rotary dial. Say something. Nope. Nothing.
Let's play charades, yeah. So Lacrucis is here. They can hear us. But they can't see us. So charades won't work.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Well,
maybe it's StreamYard.
No, it's YouTube.
No,
like
it's
I
YouTube.
said,
It's YouTube.
That's weird because I can see everything on mine. I've got it going in the background here.
My computer in front of me says.
Yeah, and so do I on my phone. I think because we were already in, but.
Yeah, I even just saw myself it up. Weird.
Try to go out and go back in. But you know, Mark.
Yeah.
I've lost almost 200 subscribers in the past couple of weeks.
I know, man. There's something weird going on. I think it must be like a yearly clean out or something. I don't know. But same thing happened to me too.
They emailed me back. They said it'll probably be maybe January, February before it gets fixed. There's a problem with the computer, they said.
Really?
Yeah, it's the algorithms. It's been doing it for a year.
Yeah.
Ever since, well, the beginning of the year with the new laws and stuff like that.
Yeah, I've noticed where I go back and I click on people to watch a video and I'm not subscribed. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I knew I was subscribed to this person.
Can't hear you, Bart. Can't hear you, BB.
Now I can't hear anyone.
You can't even hear me? You can't hear anybody, Ken?
Mark's gone. Michael Pratt's gone. Bearded Barbarian's gone. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Well, I can't hear anybody.
You're also in Japan, so.
Well, I guess.
Well, Mark, I guess it's up to you and me.
Yeah.
I can hear
this
you
thing
now.
going.
I don't know.
I'm gonna try and see if it happens.
Season.
Keep this thing going. Yeah, YouTube is coming through. So, like on the rewatch, it should work fine.
Yeah.
Right.
Cats is here. Sassy Cajun's here. Chase's Kingdom is here.
Hey, Cats.
Kingdom
Hey,
comes
Sassy.
here.
Chase's Kingdom said the hurricane's messing stuff up.
Yeah.
Very possible. Very possible.
Yeah, Japan is actually now having a typhoon.
You guys have those what, like once a month or what?
We've been having them quite often these past
Hello?
months.
Oh,
there you
Hear
go.
me now?
The worst weather.
We can hear you now.
Hey, how about that? Must be my mic. I guess it was a mic on my headset. Sorry about that, guys. So is it coming through on the other thing?
Well, we can sort of hear you.
I'm having no issue on my phone, but it looks like Pork Chop says he's doing fine too. It must have been if you were tuned in at the right time that it was okay.
I don't know.
Bearded, we can hear you.
You can hear me now?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, my
Loud
phone's
enough, or I
going
need
good.
to be louder?
We were kind of having a good time. If you
No,
could go
it's
back
fine.
to the way it was, would be great.
Yeah.
Just go ahead and mute it. Thank you.
I don't really like using inappropriate gestures, but I will. That you don't need to hear me.
The last time I got a story. The last time I was on a stream with the Bearded Barbarian.
That was a disaster. You caught almost marital abuse on that one. That would have almost got me in jail.
Shit show. Because he was trying to just go through Wi-Fi, and it wasn't working. So he's glitching in and out and everything. And Mrs. Barbarian there. She's trying to bring a cord, and he's like, "Will you just bring the cable?" And he just starts going. It's like, can you mute, fuck off for a little bit? And finally, he was like,
I kept getting messages from
him
people.
out of the way and everything.
Turn off your mic and blah blah. I was complete panic, absolute panic.
Oh, he's just losing it, and so I'm sitting there like now by myself, going, "Hi, everybody. Welcome to Bearded Barbarian." So, was your 100 subscribers?
Well, I am a barbarian. I don't really think things through. You know that. So.
Yeah.
You talk to the woman who helped cleaned up your shit like that.
Oh yeah, just go.
That was a long time ago.
There's people in the chat going,
There's no statute of limitations on cleaning shit.
It's like,
oh
yeah.
My mother was very concerned. She said, "You're going to ruin my credit." And I was like, "Credit? What are you talking about?" Well, my credit card was the one. They're not going to report that I pooped on the carpet. I mean, you just had to pay $50 fee. That's it.
You're gonna go in to buy a car one day and say, "Well, everything looks fine, except it says here you crapped your pants at a hotel in 2014." You want to explain that one?
Well, they probably still get the car, just a higher interest rate. It's fine. I'm sure that'll be fine.
So for all the people coming in, we're just telling stories.
We're trying to tell stories.
Surprises that we'll all decide about best stories. If you wish to come on,
right.
Come on in, tell your story, then you can go away if you want. If you don't want to be on camera and just, there's me. YouTube's back up.
Oh, you're back up?
Privacy contents have been updated. To continue, review the updated items on your screen.
Okay. Everything just up. Okay. So you can come on, or you can just talk. We'll hear you, or send us something to his Instagram.
Yeah,
right.
Whisper to the Bearded Barbarian. Whisper the sweet nothings in his ear.
Hey, happy to read whatever you want.
Hey, I gotta take a shit, dude.
But if you're having problems,
stream
refresh because it looks like YouTube just came back.
Okay, good. So, yeah, it sounds like it got overloaded a bit with a lot of stuff going on, and then something went on with my mic. So. Let's see who else. I see Sassy Cajuns here. Hey, Sassy. Good seeing you. Jose, good to see you. Who else? Did we miss any other people that came in, snuck in the back door? Tats. So Tats here. Hey,
I can give you my old passport if you want it.
Nah, you should have thrown that in the garbage. You should have got a new one.
I do get a new one, but I mean, I do have the old printed one.
Pass. That's a hard pass for me. All right. Yeah. If anybody wants to send a story to my Instagram, it's at Bearded Barbarian Collectibles. I'll put in the chat the link again. People are interested. Let's see what we got.
Because we're just sitting around shooting the shit.
Yeah, we're just sitting around telling stories. And if you have a story that you'd like to tell, just go ahead and hit the link and we'll bring you in and you're welcome to tell it. And for those people that tell the story that's the most interesting or the funniest, we're going to go ahead. We're giving away a few Funko Pops. We got Pichu. We got Strawberry Sour Patch Kid. And possibly Hormone Monstrous. So those would be the Pops we would be giving away. First prize would get the chance to pick which one. Second place would pick the second one, and then third place whatever's left.
You're on hormones.
Go ahead and come on in.
You're on hormones, you monster.
Does anybody else have another story to tell while we're waiting? Mike, what do you got going on?
Not much. Pork Chop sent one over to your Instagram.
Did he?
And
okay.
Go on.
All right, let's see what.
So start with that one first.
All right, I'm still waiting for one to come through.
Here, Mark coming back. Man, I heard you all the way over there, Mark.
Yeah, I'm pretty loud. I don't sneak up on anybody. I drag my feet when I walk. So what I missed? Did somebody tell a story?
No, we're still waiting.
Start over.
Just waiting. If anybody has any ideas of a story that you would like to hear about I think
The
between
genre.
all of us, somebody had a situation or.
Yeah, like I said, if there's other stories that people would like me to tell, I've got, like I said, pretty much every story involves shame of some kind for me. And like I said, I've had a lot of things. I remember one time when I was working inside a prison. I used to be a counselor in one of the at a prison, and I went in there and I went into one of the little rooms that had file cabinets all around the corner, all around the edge of the wall. So it's 3 walls of file cabinets. So I went over there to take a look at a file. So I bent down to pick up to look through the files. And I'm flipping through. So I'm in the corner of the file cabinet. Somebody decided to come up behind me and pull a file cabinet drawer on the side, like adjacent to me. And when they did, it hooked my belt loop and ripped my pants from my belt all the way down to my knee, straight down the back, just ripped it straight down here on one leg. So my underwear, my tighty whities were showing, as well as pretty much everything else.
That's not good in prison.
And I'm in prison. Yes, that is true. I'm in prison. I'm up in the administrative area. So I immediately like, oh, and the person didn't even think anything of it. Just shut the file cabinet door and walked away. And I stood up and I was like, oh God, what am I going to do? And now I have to get back from there to my office, which is in segregation. I used to have a little office in the segregation area. So I have to walk from one area all the way. So I decided I'm going to pull my shirt up. I'm going to untuck my shirt that's kind of long and one of those button-down shirts and put it all down behind me. And of course, it did a terrible job of covering everything. So I put it up the thing. I threw the file on top of the thing and I walked out the door. As I walk out the door, the warden of the facility walks right past me and stops and stares at me. And of course, I look like a complete bum because my shirt is completely untucked. And he just looks at me. He doesn't say anything. He just shakes his head. Like, what the hell are you doing?
Like a
And so
disappointed
he walks
parent.
past. I'm like, okay, good. I didn't have to have a discussion with him. So I walk around the corner. As I walk around the corner, here comes the assistant warden down around the other way. Same thing as this woman. And she looked at me and it's the same thing. She just looked at me like what? And I was like, I gave her a hand like I'm in a rush. So I hustled down around the corner. I go into the segregation area. And if you've ever worked in a prison environment, segregation is the offenders are all locked in their cells. Okay, so they're all locked in their cells, and they don't have anything to do but knock on the door and get you to come over. So as soon as I go in, everyone's bang, 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 bang on the door, and I try to hustle down the thing, and I get down into my chair, and I sit down in my chair, and just like, okay, now I just have to wait till the end of the day and find a way to get out of this prison without people noticing I'm, exposing myself. So I sat down in the chair, and the captain of segregation comes in. He goes, hey, I need you to work on this, that. And I said, look, I'll work on it tomorrow. I'm just going to sit here for the rest of the day, and we're done. And he looks at me, and he's like, this guy's always trying to think he's a comedian. He's like, what happened? You crap yourself? I'm like, no, I didn't crap myself. Like, I was all indignant. No, I didn't crap myself. Like, I would never do that. And he goes, he's like, well, what happened? And I said, well, I had a little problem with my hand. He said, let's stand up. Let me see. So I stood up, and he saw the thing. And he thought it was the funniest thing to laugh. He said, I'm going to help you out. I'm going to help you out. He goes down around the thing. He yells up to someone up there. He goes, hey, throw one of those orange jumpsuits down. The triple XL. He was going to have me put a triple XL jumpsuit that the offenders wear. And I was like, yeah, I don't think so. But he thought he was funny. So that was very unfortunate. Ruined the pants, of course. And like I said, at the end of the day, I was very fortunate to get out of there without a lot of hoopla. But
I remember back probably about 30 years ago when AIDS was really booming, right? I'm on the train, and it's like an hour train ride, and I'm just like smashed in there because in Japan, everybody crams into a train. Well, I didn't want to stand for a couple hours. I didn't want to be squashed, so I started coughing, and I was saying in Japanese, "Oh man, this AIDS is killing me." Everybody just booked and just started squeezing into the next trains. I had a whole car empty by myself.
That's terrible.
About 2 hours.
Absolutely.
If anyone came in, I just started coughing. Oh, this AIDS. Oh, my God. Oh, it's just killing me. And I just kicked back and just relaxed the whole trip. About a week ago.
You could probably do the same thing now, but not with that, with something else.
Yeah, right.
Well,
Crazy round guy going to give everybody AIDS.
Well, somebody tried to do that about a week ago with Corona.
Mm-hmm.
and got arrested.
I was going to say.
Yeah, times have changed, haven't they? Times have changed.
Things aren't quite as funny as they used to be, are they?
Oh, that's funny.
That is for sure.
I saw a funny meme the other day. It said, if you don't wear a mask, they throw you in jail. And then if you don't wear a mask because of COVID, they'll throw you in jail, and then they'll take you out of jail because of COVID.
Exactly right. That's exactly
Mm-hmm.
right. Mm-hmm.
Well, Japan now they're doing like certain restaurants. If you don't have a mask when you walk in, you're getting a $500 charge.
Wow. Now, Ken, let me ask you this: were a lot of people wearing masks over there before all of this? Because I always see a lot of stuff from like China where people were wearing masks all the time anyway.
All the time.
Michael Jackson.
Well, they wear them only during certain season, like during April. You got the allergy season. Everybody wears masks. During the winter, everybody wears masks. So just during certain seasons. But now it's just like, yeah, I got 6 or 7 masks. If I go out, I'll put on 6 masks just to keep myself protected.
6 masks?
Yeah, I mean it's really getting really bad.
Yeah.
At some point, you're not going to be able to breathe through all that.
I'm hoping they're just all in different spots all over your face, so he just looks like a mummy.
He looks like the side of the Brady Bunch bus or whatever that bus was with all those colors all over his face.
Partridge Family.
Pork Chop said he sent me a message, but I don't see anything in my Instagram box. So, Pork Chop, I apologize. Is there a way you can resend it? I just don't see a message.
Who was the first story from?
The first one was Pop the Heat.
Oh.
Yeah, Pop the Heat. I did get a message from him, and I read it. Like a short story that I read. It was the one where the lady was slapping the hell out of the husband.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that one I did get. So I got that, but I didn't get this one, so I didn't know if there was a. It's at Bearded Barbarian Collectibles, so it's a lot of letters. So maybe like one letter off or something like that. So if you can copy and paste the story from whatever and try again and just see if that happened. Either that, or I don't know if somebody else like Mike or Mark, you send it to one of theirs, maybe they can read. I don't know.
I'm looking right now, and I got somebody from work.
I don't mind doing it. It's just not.
Maybe he made a mistake, and instead of the B, he put a Q.
Maybe.
See, you just gotta have fun with the
Mike,
masks and get the right ones.
Hey,
yeah.
my wife. Oh, wait. Oh, that says Michael Pratt. Okay.
I actually bought some cool masks for if I ever have to go back to the office, and then they put on a memo like, no, we don't want any fun. You have to have solid colors. So I can't even use them for that. So.
Oh. That's you go. I'm sorry, I'm allergic to solid colors. So
I hear you.
I piled up on my mask when I go out.
That one looks like it's rubber.
Yeah, well,
yes.
It's kind of like rubber. It's
neoprene.
So
you can breathe in that.
For this one here, it's like $10.
Yeah, I bought some that have like little valves in it that they're like gills, and you can breathe out, and the air goes out. But when you breathe in, they close. That's kind of like
This one I made.
I used to weigh
I weighed 380 pounds, and now I'm down to about 165.
Those are your jeans, right, Ken? Are those your jeans?
Yeah, and that's from the crotch area.
I was going to say, did you wash that before you put that fabric on there?
Otherwise,
what you're breathing in is way worse than what you could be getting. You know what I mean? Oh, Pork Chop said he resent it. Let me see if I can find it now. So let's see.
But a story. Has anybody ever met a celebrity and just has like a funny story about meeting a celebrity?
I've got one if nobody else does. I was at, I used to go to school in Maine, and I lived in a small town called Dover Foxcroft, and my school was in Bangor, Maine, and I went to a private school there, and I don't know if people know too much about Maine or whatever. There aren't too many celebrities, obviously, in that area. There's more moose than there are people. But I was at going to the movie theater with me and my friends, and I turned around, and Stephen King was standing behind
I was
me.
going to
'cause
say
he was-
there's only one celebrity in Bangor, Maine.
Right, exactly. Stephen King, and he has sort of a famous house in Bangor, Maine, where he lives. It looks like a haunted mansion. He's got gargoyles on the fence. It's very cool. But he was standing right behind us, and so we sort of got our tickets and walked around. We were like, "What are we going to do? Let's see if we can get an autograph." So we didn't have anything to have autograph because we didn't think we were just going to the movies. So one of my friends got a popcorn thing to try to get him an autograph, and he was very nice, but he said, "No, I can't, because if I do, then all of a sudden there's going to be a line. There'll be like a line of people, and we just want to go to the movies." So it wasn't really a funny story, but I thought it was sort of interesting. He's a very interesting looking guy. But yeah, I thought that was really cool that he just, like I said, just happened to be standing in the line like a regular person. And it was sort of interesting. His son went to school, the same school that I went to, and my brother, when he was there at the same time. So I thought that was kind of cool. That was kind of cool. I enjoyed it. Like I said, Maine, there's not like a lot of celebrities around.
Do you remember the show Mork and Mindy?
Oh yeah.
Sure.
Nanu.
I ran into Robin Williams one time when I was in
Oh, wow.
Hollywood, and I was going to ask him for his autograph, and I was getting ready to say Nanu Nanu, and I put my hand like this. At the same time, somebody called him, Robin, and he turned around, and as I was going up, my hand just went straight into his crotch. Nanu Nanu. He just looked at me like, you crazy little shit.
So at what point did the police come?
Too late.
That was a Nanu no.
Exactly. So was this at the same time as Mork and Mindy, around that same time?
Yeah, it was exactly the same time.
Nice. Yeah, that was cool. That was really cool.
So that was
How
one
about
of my
you,
favorite shows
Mark?
back when.
Have you met anyone famous or any good stories?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how far we can go. I have a couple stories. I had a vasectomy that was pretty awful. I can tell that story.
You had a what?
A vasectomy.
I woke up during mine.
Well, see, you were out. Mine, I wasn't. So.
Oh no.
Yeah.
My doctor made sure I was out. He's what the size of me? He's like, I don't want you awake.
Well, I know. Okay, so I go in, and it was a doctor and a nurse, but the nurse was like, it was a 50-year-old black guy. Like, it wasn't a nurse. It was a dude. And I remember I had to, I had to shave everything the night before, and so I lay down, and of course, I mean, you know how it is when you're laying down there. It's cold and everything else, and so he's looking at me, and he goes, "Nice." I'm like, "Nice what?" And he goes, "Nice shave job." I'm like, "Oh, thanks." Uncomfortable enough as it was. He was like, "Nice shave."
You did shave, but you weren't just naturally bald or anything like that.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And I'm like, "Oh, cool. Thanks for my first time. Glad I did good for you." And then, so he gives me a shot, and it numbs me down there. And I'm just laying there the whole time, wide awake, and I'm not knowing what to do. And all of a sudden I felt pain, and I'm like, "Ow." I'm like, "Man, I felt that. I'm sorry. Something's wrong." And he goes, "Oh, that's okay. We just need to numb you a little more." And he put the needle in me, and I'm pretty sure he put it in one of my testes. And I grabbed the sides of the table, and I screamed. And my wife said she could hear me from the waiting room, and he was like, "What's wrong? What's wrong?" And I'm like, "You put it in my ball." And he's like, No, I didn't. Because, I mean, I've never felt any kind of pain like that before. Never have ever since. And
then he said Rocky Mountain oysters.
Yeah, right. Yeah, there was nothing rocky about that. It was just a straight up horrid. And so, yeah, I screamed, and then we finally got back to it, and he was able to finish up. And but the nurse guy was really cool about the way he acted. Like, it was like this super cool guy, and he's like, "Hey, man," he's like, whenever you get home, he goes, "Put some ice on it. Put a little ice on it, and you'll be all right."
So he didn't do anything for you, or nothing?
No. I was at the equivalent to like a back alley in Mexico type getting this thing done, because, like I said, there was no option to get pushed out. I even told the guy, I said, "Hey, can you put me out?" And he's like, "I can give you a volume." I'm like, "Okay, I'll take that then, I guess." So that's what I got. And it was the way he like talked was funny, because they say you have to go so many. Maybe I should stop the story. I don't know. So many party time explosions, I guess. Before then, you have to put it in a jar. And so when he said it, he goes, "Hey man, I want your 20th." And I said, "You want my what?" And because I was still loopy from the volume, and I'm like, he goes, "I want your 20th." I said, "My 20th what?" And he goes, "You know, you give me your 20th, you bring it back." He goes, "You put it in this cup," and he gave me a little cup, and he goes, "You got to be here within 15 minutes." Well, I lived a half hour away, so
20th in a day, or I don't understand what the count is, and when does it start?
yeah. Well, no, when you have the 20th time and so
Right.
I had to do that in the bathroom across the hall from the doctor's office because I lived a half hour away. So I couldn't make it there in 15 minutes. And so I went in, I brought it in, and they're like, "Hey man, has it been 15 minutes?" I'm like, "It's been 15 seconds. I did it right out there." And they're like, I'm like, "Sorry, I lived too far away, so I had to do it." And so yeah, just a weird experience. And I have a lot of friends that have had it done, and they're all like, "I was knocked out. I was knocked out. I was asleep." I was like, that guy just offered me drugs. Like he was.
Did you bring a coupon for this? Did this surgery come with a coupon or something like that? Because in my estimation, it's not usually a good sign.
No,
Buy one,
I
get
was
one
I was
kind of
knocked
situation.
right out. I was out. And all of a sudden I just remember, because that's one thing, is like I had to have surgery to get in my jaw, and had a couple other things like with my knee, and my body metabolizes drugs really fast. Every time I've been knocked out, I've been put out, I come to at very inopportune times.
Wow.
And yeah, I just remember I just felt this, I go to sleep and all of a sudden there's this pull where there shouldn't be a pull, and I just, eyes open and what, and there's the surgeon, little Indian guy, maybe 125 pounds soaking wet, and I just look up and look down, and because I'm laying down, and he just sees my eyes, and he's just like, he looks over at the anesthesiologist, and his eyes, and all I see is this needle coming out of nowhere right to the IV.
Double it up.
Yeah. And done. Oh.
In Japan, I had my my gallstones taken out. They tried to put me to sleep, but the Japanese medicines here are like very weak. So, I mean, I was awake during the whole operation because they tried putting me to sleep and it wasn't working. After the operation, he hands these like 5 little cups to me, and he says, "Here you are. Now make sure you keep these stored." They keep their stones. And my wife keeps it till this day.
I was going to say, for what?
Yeah, it's supposed to be you keep it for good luck. I don't know. But I got 5 cups full of stones, and it's not
like
turning
a 4-leaf
to powder.
clover.
Kind of like a maraca. You got like a little maraca kind of thing going.
Some people have a rabbit foot on their keychain. Some people have a little satchel of golf stones in there.
Right.
Yeah. Pork chop and crow collect.
A stoner party, man. A stoner party.
Story. I'm going to go ahead and read that, okay?
Yeah.
Pork chop, I got your story, so I'm going to go ahead and read that. All right, here's a story. It says, "Here's my story. So I used to go ground modifications across the U.S. Well, one time we left Colorado and had to be in Pennsylvania by the next day. So I drove for 28 straight hours. While driving through Indiana at 2 a.m. down I-80 in the Peace dark with 2 tornadoes, one behind me and one in front of me, with 4 other guys in the truck. Come to find out, it was 10 minutes earlier than I would have been caught in a twister if we were 15 minutes slower, or our trailer would have been ripped off." It says it was a dream, and I still can't figure out where the water came from. So he he almost became Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz. It sounds like that sounds horrifying.
Well, do you guys remember back? I want to say around 2008, the Galveston hurricane. Galveston, Texas, had a big hurricane.
Yeah.
I was actually in Texas. I was an electrician at the time, and I worked for this company that they did house calls, electrical repair house calls for a warranty company. So if you had like the home warranty and you called and said, "Hey, I got lights at work," I was the guy that called out. And so I went. They had a bunch of people get fired or something in Houston. So I went down to Houston, and I was working in the Galveston area. And I remember, and I'm half Mexican. There were a couple of people around. A lot of people speak in Spanish to me. I don't speak Spanish. I don't know any Spanish. So I knew like 4 words, enough to get me through that, but that's not the story. Anyway, so the announcement comes out that the hurricane's coming. I've been down there for a week already. So I called this company, and I had their work vehicle that I had to go pick up from somebody that got fired. And my boss was like, hey, just stick it out. Just stick it out. They're going to need a lot of electrical work when you're done, after the hurricane's done. I said, no, they won't. They won't have any power. I said, there's nothing I can do to fix anything if there's no power. And he goes, well, aren't you from Illinois? Yeah. And he goes, well, don't they have tornadoes there? And I said, yeah, but I've never seen one. I said, so get me the hell out of here. Get me a flight out of here. And he goes, well, I don't know if I can do that. I said, well, let me tell you what I can do. I can take your work truck and I can drive it from Houston all the way back up to Illinois, and I can leave it in anywhere I want to. And you can get it back if you want. And he goes, no, just fine. Just okay. And then they got me a ticket, but I had to go to Dallas. So it was like a 3-hour drive or something from Houston to Dallas or whatever it was. It took me like 7 hours to drive there because it was like something out of a movie. All these people had all their shit packed on top of the car, and everybody every exit of the highway was getting on. And I probably drove no faster than 30 miles per hour to get there. And finally, I got to the airport. I took the keys, opened up the flap of the gas tank, threw them in there, and got on the plane and got the hell out of there. But yeah, if I'd have stayed down there, Galveston was destroyed. If I'd have stayed down there, I'd probably want him dead.
But I mean, you have life insurance, so the story would have had a happy ending. Just
At
not
that
for
time,
you.
I didn't. No, at that time, I didn't. Now I do. I'm worth more now dead than I was back then.
Yeah, you don't want to put a bounty on you. Be careful about that.
I know how that feels.
All right, I'll talk to you guys a
He's
little
even
later.
got me
Yeah?
insured for suicide.
All right,
I'm
man.
like,
Thanks for coming on, buddy.
Later.
Pork Chop says, Mark, tu no hablo español? ¿Por qué? No? Okay, so he says, you don't speak Spanish? Why not?
Yeah, I took Spanish in school. I took Latin in school when I was in high school in my freshman year. And the teacher thought he was a real cool kind of guy. And while people were taking tests, he'd use whistles. And he just was one of those fun teachers. And the people that knew what they were doing in class, hey, God, he loved him. I was trying to concentrate on the test because I was horrible in Latin. So I would, conjugate this and that. It came out horrible, whatever. So at the end of the quarter, I tried my best. I'd gotten an F. And so my teacher came up to me, and I thought he was going to, say, hey, you just need to keep trying, blah, blah, blah. He came over to me and goes, Latin's not for you. Okay. I don't know what is for you, but this is not for you. And I was like, what am I supposed to do? He's like, try Spanish. So I went on to take Spanish, and I effectively got a D+. So I'm not good at barely to manage English. The others not as much. So
well, my mom is Mexican, and she speaks fluent Spanish, and I failed Spanish twice in high school, and made her extremely proud.
Well, you wouldn't have to if my mother spoke Spanish, I'd probably fail too because I wouldn't want to hear her what she had to say. So I just said, I don't know what you're talking about.
She always offered to help, and I'm like, no, thanks. I'll just go smoke weed and not do my work.
Yeah, Mel, there's some big problems going on with YouTube. It's hit and miss Sassy Cajun.
Yeah, I understand that. I saw some things. Hopefully we can go as long as we can go, and then at some point we'll just, if it craps out, it'll just crap out.
Pork chop, that's a great idea. That's a great idea.
What did he say?
He said, Mark, video idea. You should do a telenovela style. I'm guessing like one of those.
Be careful what you're agreeing to now.
What's the one they did on The Simpsons all the time? The bee, "Ay, Chihuahua," that big bee all the time.
Hey, Sassy, how are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Hey, Sassy.
We're doing great. We're trying to hang in there while the internet will let us.
Yeah,
So,
I had some issues too getting y'all for a while, and then it just popped up all of a sudden, started working. I was like, all right.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot of people were on at one time, and then I guess some people gave up and went away, but we're not quitting. So we'll see how this goes.
Congratulations on your milestone, by the way.
Thank you. I'm working towards 300 now.
That a girl.
Yeah, it took for me to get 300. It was many, many, many months. For the longest time, I was under 100, and then it's just one of those things where certain things pop at certain times. So getting to that milestone is a good one. That's a good one.
Well, I've been having a lot of shout outs lately. People got my back, been showing me some love. And so it's been amazing how quickly I have gotten to the 200. You know.
It takes help, man. It really does. It takes help.
Yeah.
And I remember
Oh, yeah,
when I first
absolutely.
started out, I did this. I knew nobody. I didn't know a soul on YouTube or anything, and I just started making videos. And Mama J found it and gave me a shout out one time. And all of a sudden, like
She felt sorry for you.
Yeah, my phone was blowing up with comments, and my subscribers were growing on. I'm like, what the hell's going on? Like, because I wasn't subscribed to her, I didn't know who she was. And so that's how I met Mama J, and that was a real big help. And then shout out to her.
You are hilarious. I just, it doesn't matter what you do. I just like rolling on the floor, almost pee my pants every time.
Oh, thank you. That's my goal.
You're talking to me. You're not talking to Mark, are you? I mean, come on.
I am talking to Mark.
I'm talking about before you start drinking, I'm funny. After you start drinking, that's when Mark is real. Am I right?
Hey, I'm so funny. I made Cleon make him poop his pants one time. You let him tell you this. You missed the story earlier.
I heard.
I can't even bring up YouTube in another window.
That's crazy.
I've tried to bring up other videos and stuff, and no, it won't come up.
Oh, there you go. Now it's slowly.
Okay. Well.
Yeah. So I have an interesting story.
Sure. Go ahead. What you got?
Okay. So when I was younger, for my first son, I was pregnant. We played this game on CBs in our vehicles called Rabbit, and it's like hide and seek, but you do it with a CB. Well, the company my husband was working for at the time gave us permission to hide our vehicle at his place of work. Well, just so happened that weekend, the security cameras were out, so he had the police do extra patrol around that area. Well, we had pulled between an 18-wheeler trailer and the building, and we were in a little bitty S10, and the two guys were out of the truck, stacking pallets behind the truck so we could hide our vehicle. Well, the police roll up and they were like, you need to get down on the ground. So they got down on the ground and they were like, was there anybody else in the vehicle? And my husband was like, yeah, my pregnant wife. Well, get her out of here right now. So I had to squeeze into between this little bitty space between the truck and the 18-wheeler to try to get out. And so I get out. And then he's like, you need to get on the ground. And he's like, she's pregnant. He said, I don't give a care. So he made me get down on the ground on my stomach. And he pushed his foot on my back, handcuffed me. They had shotguns to our heads. They took us to the police station. We're like, we have permission to be on property. Promise, call the owner. Well, they called the wrong person. They called the manager of the property, and she didn't know anything about it. He's like, we called and they said they have no idea what's going on. My husband's like, I'm telling you, call the owner. He gave me permission personally. Call him. So some time went on. They put us in different holding cells. And I'm like, okay, a pregnant woman, I have to pee. They wouldn't let me go to the bathroom. So we're just sitting there. He's like, I'm telling you, call the owner. Call the owner. He's like, oh, yeah, they have permission to be there. So found out we had permission to be there. So we were like, okay, well, when we get let go, how are we going to get back to our vehicle? Oh, you have to walk. Ha, 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 ha. He laughed. So I thought he was just joking, Sure enough, about probably hour and a half passed. They let us all go, didn't charge us. And we sure enough had to walk back to our vehicle.
That's terrible.
What did they think? You were like a Russian spy or something?
I have no idea. Two guys and a pregnant woman. What did they think we were going to do?
Right.
I don't know. But yeah,
I would have hoped they would have given you an apology sometimes. That's just terrible.
And I tried to report the guy, but I was so nervous and so in a panic at that moment. I didn't necessarily look at his name, and I could describe him to the T, but they said without his name, there was nothing that they could do. So nothing happened. So it's okay just to go around stepping on pregnant women's backs. But anyway, it was an interesting night, I tell you that.
Well, at least you got a fun story to tell. You always got that. That's a good story. There's no doubt about it. I haven't gotten arrested, thankfully enough.
Well, I wasn't arrested, I guess. We weren't charged.
It was my great aunt and her friend. They're from out here in Alberta, and they were going to some wedding from somebody's friend way down south, and they're, summertime. They're like, well, we'll make the drive, take a couple days. And so they're driving down, and, they're elderly. They're like 70 years old. So I'm not sure which state it was, but they get pulled over, and, no problem. They stop and everything, and cop comes up the side of the car, and he's like, license, registration, where you from, where you going. And so she's talking to the cop, and so, talking to her friend, get the registration out of the glove box. Okay, and she looking around. Okay, fine. So she drops it, and not even thinking, Canadian. The officer's talking to the driver, and he's like, well, where are you ladies from? And she's like, and just as her friend is bending down to pick up the registration, she goes, kill him. Shotgun blast through the back window, takes off the passenger seat.
Whoa.
Almost takes her head off. They are from a town about 45 minutes away called Killam, Alberta. So there's another cop back behind the car with a shotgun paying attention. All he sees is somebody bending down, and then that person goes, kill him.
Wow.
Yep, took the top of she wound up with some pellets in her back and everything. I said, 70-year-old ladies, takes the top of the seat right off, right? Both back windshield, front windshield, gone. Wow. Other cops, he's got his gun out there,
That seems.
Just
what a story.
This seems more like the cop with a 70-year-old person. Like, did he say kill him?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got some weird name places up around here. So, but yeah, kill him. And so,
wow,
they started shooting.
My dad, one time we were driving along in the car on this little back road, and we had a flat tire. We pulled down to the side of the road. My dad was like, all right, well, we're gonna call AAA and see if we can get this stuff straight. So we called AAA and let them know, hey, we got a flat tire. Can you send somebody out to change the tire for us? Because for whatever reason, there was no spare. And plus, I was too lazy to fix it if there was a spare. So, and my elderly father was going to fix it. So we talking about different things. They're like, well, where are you? So I was like, I have no idea where we are. We have to look around. So we looked around, and we found a sign, and it said tight squeeze. And the town was tight squeeze. So we told them, we're in tight squeeze. And they're like, no, I know you're in a tight squeeze. Where are you located? I'm like, no, that's the name of the town. So there's a little town in Virginia called Tight Squeeze, and that's where we were.
Well, in Newfoundland, Newfoundland, there's Dildo.
Wow.
And that's actually just down the road from Come By Chance. I'm not even messing with you. Google it.
Wow.
Where did they get these names? I do not know.
Yeah.
Well, so it sounds like, I don't know if we're still down or not. I mean, what do you guys think?
It's glitching in and out, and YouTube is messed right up.
I can't get any right now. I don't see chat. I don't see anything.
Nope.
I don't see anything.
I try to log in, and
Yeah, the chat's still going on.
I haven't seen it move too much recently, so maybe I'm.
Oh yeah, it hasn't moved. Oh wait.
I'm still in here.
You can still see the video.
Yeah, it's never gone down for me.
Oh.
I have it on my phone, but I just went into YouTube on my computer, and it wouldn't load. I refreshed. Came up with the thumbnails, went to yours, and I see the chat, and it just says an error occurred. Please try again later.
Yeah.
So there's
I've never seen it with YouTube having these kind of problems forever.
Well, somebody said that it's worldwide. They're having trouble right now.
Yeah.
That was good timing. This pretty much figures. This pretty much figures.
Oh, Mark, I have a turtle. He's right over there.
I was just testing the chat, see if it was still working.
Let's see. Ken's
I
back.
love turtles.
Hey, Ken, how you doing, buddy?
Yeah, it looks like all YouTube is down. I've tried like 15 channels. Nothing's working.
Oh, well,
Hey, you remember Forrest Gump when he's out on the shrimp boat and then the storm comes through and takes out all the other shrimp boats except for his? Maybe that'll have a stream tonight.
You're saying
like 40,000 people.
so you have the shrimp. So the shrimp is at the nerd bar.
Yes, I do.
We can start telling stuff about shrimp. A shrimp gumbo. Okay, we'll go round robin. We'll say what kinds of shrimp.
Shrimp sandwich. Shrimp
Pops, barbecue shrimp po' boy. Hey, we're doing a sausage and chicken gumbo live stream this Saturday, so y'all should come watch.
Oh, yeah.
What is
I
gumbo?
love gumbo, dude. Love gumbo.
So how
What's
am I
gumbo?
going to taste any of it through the internet?
What's
How does that work?
gumbo? It's kind of like a stew, Ken, with a dark juice. It's Cajun food. I mean, it's hard to explain.
So something from the Middle East, right?
No.
Oh, down south.
So
I'm from Arizona. I'm south, and there's no gumbo.
No, you're
That
not
sounds wet.
south. I'm from Louisiana. I'm south.
yeah, she's from the real. You're from Southwest.
I'm from the way down south.
I actually went to New Orleans a couple years ago. We had a conference down there. It was awesome. It had been the first time I was there.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it.
I'm about 2 hours from New Orleans.
It was nice. They had I pretty much every meal I had shrimp and grits. I mean, I had all the shrimp and grits I could ever want.
Yeah. Well,
I must have gained 1,000,000 pounds.
and their food is okay, but where we are, the food is better because in New Orleans it's Creole food and they use a lot of tomatoes and stuff like that. We're Cajun and we don't use a lot of tomatoes. Our stuff is more of like a darker gravy with a roux, or we have gumbo fricassee. We have stew. Look at Mark licking his lips.
Hey, Mark.
I love Cajun food.
It's a bit curvy. I understand what you're trying to. You've got a different kind of thing going on there, which is.
We have étouffée. We have a couvillon. We got all kind of different stuff.
But
Is it
étouffée,
spicier or less spicy?
Is étouffée what, Mark?
I love it. I had
Oh,
some
yeah.
shrimp étouffée. Well, I went down to Alabama last year and ate
Yeah,
everything I could. Oh, so good.
That's still not as good as over here. You
I
gotta
believe
come
that.
to Louisiana.
Hey,
Come
Mark.
to Louisiana and we'll feed you.
Is it more spicy or less spicy in New Orleans? The red as opposed to the other.
I would say in New Orleans it's less spicy than where I am. Where I am, it's more spicy.
I can't handle spice. It would kill me. Like watching these challenges, like Mark did with the toe of Satan. I mean, honestly, the ambulance would have to come and bring me to the emergency room. I couldn't manage it.
I died, and luckily I was able to. I had an extra life, so.
I mean,
I thought you meant emotionally. I did.
you season it how you want, though. You don't have to. It doesn't have to be spicy.
Oh, okay. Do you like it spicy, or you sort of get used?
Me, I don't too much like it spicy. My husband loves it. Well, he used to. When you get older, you can't have spice as much because, it does things it shouldn't be doing. But, yeah, so we don't use as much spice as we used to. But
Mark,
Yes.
I know why you got the vasectomy.
Why?
When you
I'd
got
never do
married,
that.
when you got married, your wife said, "Shrimp, cut." I was watching the
See? And that is why Ken is the most interesting man on YouTube. I'm telling you, I'm calling Dos Equis, telling them to get they got a new spokesperson. It's Ken.
I was watching the TV last night. They were showing a Japanese type ramen, and it is one of the spiciest things in the world. They've been testing it around in many countries, and no one except 4 people have been able to eat it. It's like 50 million skull or something like that, whatever the hell it means.
Scoville units.
Whatever it's called, but
Well,
I think if you
okay.
had 58 million, you'd probably
Here,
be
let me
dead.
tell you, the toe of Satan was 9 million Scoville. That was the heat measurement on that. So,
well, this is 50 something.
if it's 50 million, it'll kill you probably.
It probably will kill you.
do it.
There is a pepper supposedly somewhere that will kill you.
I'm down. I eat scorpion pepper sauce on everything. I'm good.
Well, they had like Chinese have some of the spiciest stuff in the world. They took it to this town where they have the spiciest, and there was only 4 people there that could eat it. And they tried all these other countries, Vietnam, where they like spicy. No one can handle it.
Yeah. Don't stop. If it's 50 million Scoville.
Yeah, 50 million. I'm not sure exactly what that means.
I don't think you'd survive. I got to believe that you would die. I mean, I would. It's
Yeah, I think so. Your organs would probably just be like, nope, we're done.
Well, I don't know. I'm not really sure how to proceed. I don't certainly want to waste anyone's time if we're not all on the internet. But I guess we need to award some pops for the few people that are still here.
They're saying Gmail is down too, like Google Mail.
I wonder what has caused all of that? I mean, this is crazy.
It's Russia.
You think they're smart enough to manage all this?
It's Ken. Ken's doing it all.
It's the power of the samurai.
I blame Donald Trump. Donald Trump's pissed off he didn't win, so he's like pushing every button he can find.
That's it. He's got the big red button.
But Yahoo's not working either.
What is it?
Yahoo.
Oh, really?
Yahoo's down pretty much. I've been checking out. Quite a few things are down.
Wow.
You know what will be functioning perfectly though? Everyone's jobs.
Hey,
Of course.
Everyone will have to go to work tomorrow.
We're about to hit the apocalypse. That's what's about to happen.
I hear you.
Well, the TV here is down too. It's not working either.
Oh no!
Are you serious?
Yeah, I tried to turn on the TV. Nothing's working anywhere.
Oh, I hope you can have your live tomorrow, Mark.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah, me too.
This is.
Congrats
I've never
on
seen anything like this.
1,000
Thank you.
subscribers.
Thank you very much.
You grew
Yeah.
very quickly. Like you jumped from 7 to 1,000 like in a blink of an eye almost.
Yeah, I think I was at like 800 something, and then Bearded Pop did a shout out for me, and then it just went whoop, and yeah, I was very happy for that.
Yeah.
Because I remember your 750 giveaway.
My 750ish.
Yeah, it was like a week ago.
Yeah. I'm like, wait, he's at 1,000 already? What the heck?
Yeah, that's pretty cool though. I'm glad to see. Now there's cool things opening up for YouTube on me, because when you hit 1,000 subscribers, you can do different things, and so that's pretty neat.
But you have to hit 1,000 by the end of the year. Next year, January, they're changing it. It's going to be 2,000.
Wow.
So
I still haven't hit my 4,000 watch time hours.
You're lucky. For us,
I gotta start giving them some shout outs. I got a month to get to 1,000.
Yeah, we can do that.
I got a way to go myself. I hear you. All right. Oops, someone said it's working. Warlord said it was working. Do you see it?
Yeah, it's in and out. It's up and down.
Thank you, Pork Chop.
Oh, said down again, and Warlord said it was working. How about that? It's crazy.
Yeah.
Like I said, I've never seen
You're
anything like
breaking up
that.
again.
Who, me?
Looks like Mark. Oh, there you go. Thought Mark was frozen.
Hope I don't freeze.
Down.
Hey, is Duke gonna show an appearance tomorrow?
Maybe. I didn't really think about that. Maybe.
I love Duke. He's so funny.
Yeah, I could do that. I could probably pull that off.
He's such a good family member.
Yeah. Yeah. Everybody seems to like him.
Mark was trying to find his shrimp.
He's not gonna let that die.
We used to have a comedian around here. His name was Poo Poo Broussard, and he was kind of like Duke.
Really?
Yeah, he's hilarious.
That's funny. Poo-poo
Was he a
Broussard.
fluke?
Poo Poo Broussard. Yeah.
Great
It
name.
looks like they're coming back here.
Probably look up on YouTube some of his past videos, and you probably die laughing. They give you some ideas for Duke.
Duke the fluke?
I feel like there's like a Nathan or something Broussard. Something like that, a comedian. I don't know. I've been out of the game for so long.
Oh, that's true. You used to be a comedian, huh?
I did, yeah. 2000, 2001, 2002.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah. It was a good time. I had a good time.
I bet.
Can't do it now with wife and kids. I mean, I could if I wanted to, but it's nothing.
Well,
family
and
needs to be
COVID,
doing.
you know, you'd have to wear a mask, and then people wouldn't even be able to.
Yeah. Plus, everybody's so offended anymore. It's not even worth trying to tell a joke. I mean, it's really not.
You can't even say what you want to say anymore without.
You can tell a joke. You just say that Mark told me this great joke. And Mark told me this great joke, and if you're offended, here's his address.
Yeah, right. Exactly. I should do it as Duke and be like, "Oh, that was one of Mark's."
Yeah. There you go. That's right.
Mark, at least you had a kid before the gumbo.
Back to the shrimp. That's it. I'm calling Dos Equis right now and saying you have the wrong man for the most interesting man in the world.
Yeah, I think we're definitely back. I see a bunch of people in here now. The chat seems to be moving, so whether or not it'll stay is no telling. But
yeah, I'm probably good for about another 10 or so.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. That's no problem. Yeah. So if anybody else wants to come and tell a story or has something on Instagram, just go ahead and let me put the link in there.
Just give birth.
Thanks for having me on. I'm gonna go ahead and step on out.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Good to hang out with you guys.
I want to watch that gumbo show.
Good. I'll be looking for you, Ken. You have a good night.
All right.
You too.
Thank you. All right. So I sent the link again if anybody's interested. If you want to send something to my Instagram, you're welcome to. It's at Bearded Barbarian Collectibles. And we'll probably go for another 10 minutes or so, and then we'll have a discussion about what people think that, obviously there's hit and miss with people, maybe the best stories that people heard, and we'll give away some Funko Pops and see what we got. So
hey, Josh, go
the gumbo.
I got Tats 79 said Nerd Bar. Did you just moon us when YouTube was down? I don't have a butt. I've been told I don't have a butt. I have a zero butt. So it's just back straight down to feet. There's no butt.
He did sun everyone. He didn't moon everyone, but he did sun everyone. So I'll let you figure out what that.
Yeah.
While he was looking for his little gumbo.
Hey, it's a jumbo shrimp, and let me tell you right now, if this was Korea, I'd be average as hell. So how about that?
That was a spicy one too. It was a spicy one.
Oh, that's great.
Chop goes your weasel.
And you've lost it, buddy. You've the rest of everyone else has been drinking. You are sober. I'm very concerned about
Ken just woke up. Yeah, Ken just woke up.
10 o'clock in the morning there, I hope so. I'm just playing with my knee brace.
Well, you know what it's like trying to tell a joke in Japanese?
I can't imagine. I can barely manage it in English. So, Mike, I heard that you used to have a nickname. What was your nickname? Do you remember? Do you have a story from your days when you had your nickname? You remember what it was?
Which one?
Didn't you tell me that you had a nickname and what it was?
Well, I'm trying to remember which nickname.
Yeah.
I've gone through a couple.
Very interesting life.
Nickname.
Mine was tight ass.
What was it?
Tight ass.
That was one.
What letter did it start with?
They used to call you murder.
Yes.
Oh,
I
no,
would always say it's going to stay that way.
What?
Madness.
I want to know why they gave me the nickname tight ass.
Madness.
That's what I
No,
want to
not
know.
murder. Madness.
Why was it called Madness?
See, to me, that's not even a nickname because people refer to me as Madness all the time.
That's what I'm saying. But why don't you? Is there any stories related to how you get the name Madness? Like, if you get a story, if you get a nickname named Madness, there should be a story, or you should get a pilot. One of those two things should happen.
Yeah.
Well, I got the nickname Madness because well, I don't now because of my knee injury, but I played paintball. I actually played semi-pro paintball for like 15 years. And so even going into, my 40s, I was on the field. I'm madness because I'm absolutely insane and crazy. And then one of the other things I do is I actually have a Terminator outfit. And so it's riot gear and everything like that, and padded, a little bit padded, but it's not, too crazy. And I'll take on, 300 people. And it's, if I hit you, you're out. But if you hit me, I go till I quit. Because obviously it's 300 on one or 100 on one. And I'll just, take on 300 people on a paintball field. And I've never given up.
So it's not murder, it's madness. Because I've been telling people it's murder.
No, it's madness. Just because, like I said, that goes back to way back to playing paintball. And then, with the paintball, I've got to travel the country and, I've built paintball fields and worked for one of the largest, paintball entertainment places, in the world, and travel around and actually do like special events and stuff like that where I get shipped out the other side of the country and get to play Terminator.
So for you to be a semi-pro ball, that means there's a pro paintball.
Oh yeah,
that's news to me. I've never seen that. I play paintball and I love it. And I used to do it when I was younger, and it was so fun. But I didn't know there was a pro paintball or a semi-pro.
Oh, yeah. It's very small, very elite. But every major city in the United States has at least one pro team.
Really? That's pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
Hey, and you're already wearing the mask, so they should be booming right now.
Well, it might just be in the garage. Hold on.
All right. Does anybody have any other stories to tell? If not, we can go ahead and start talking about what we heard. And we'll sort of kind of go around to our...
Got your nuts there, Mark.
Well, do it again. Do it again, Ken.
Your little almonds. Peter Paul Almond Joy's got nuts. Mark, don't.
I didn't get neutered. I got a vasectomy. There's a difference.
Well, you almost did, accidentally. That's the problem.
True. Yeah. They're still there. They just don't do it.
There's holes in them. But they're there, right.
That's cool. I like that.
Right. And my thing is spikes. These are like real metal spikes.
It seems dangerous.
This is the one that everybody knows me with.
Yeah. I don't think you have to question why they call him Madness anymore. It looks like a Mad Max movie.
Well, I remember that's one of the things like when you're playing X-ball or something with the inflatables, throughout the field. Yeah, if you're hiding behind an inflatable, I will remove the inflatable.
I don't think they appreciate that. You blow up their mess. I remember one time I was playing paintball. I wasn't very good. I could never see through the mask. It was always fogged up. I would stagger around, and I usually end up where the enemies were. Like, I thought they were my team. I kept forgetting who my team members were, etc. And I remember one time I got shot, so I stood up and put the thing in and I said, I'm out. As soon as I stood up, a ball hit me right in the face mask and hit like where my mouth was and exploded in my mouth. So I took my mask off as we're walking down the thing, and it's red, red paintball, and just all in my mouth. The guy goes up to me, goes, "Those aren't gumballs, they're paintballs." Yes, I know that. I got hit in the face.
I actually have a fan system in this one that blows air, a little fan system, so it keeps my lenses clear because when you're running and going and
keep it from fogging.
I used to eat paintballs all the time, just freak kids out. Just throw a paintball in your mouth and crunch down, and
I don't think you're supposed to do that. I'm not
You're
sure.
probably going to die from that.
it's just food colored in canola oil.
Is there lead paint in there? There might be lead in there. That could explain a lot.
Maybe down in the States, but not up here. But
Yeah, trust me.
yeah, no, that was
The paint in the States is probably 100% poison.
oh, probably. And now I don't play because I get this fun thing. Yay!
Oh boy.
Yeah.
All right, so I think what we're going to do now is, since we're sort of winding down a bit, I can't let you vote, Ken, because you're one of the people that were told a story that we're giving away pops to. So you can sit quietly if you want, or I can give you the boot. Those are your two choices. But the three of us will talk about who we would think is the best story, first, second, third, and then the people in the chat, you're welcome to chime in. The best story that you heard, the second best. Let's go with the best story we heard first, and then we can award that. And of course, myself, Mark, and Mike Pratt. Obviously, we're just here to, we're not here to win pop. But I'm sorry, did I not mention that, Mark or Mike?
I'm out.
I'm out. I used to do the same thing.
See you later.
So,
See you, Ken.
all right, Ken, have a good one, buddy.
Ciao.
So what did you think, Mike? What was your favorite story that you heard of the evening?
Do we want?
Remember any of them?
I don't know. You spend 5 days in a freaking toilet. Everybody had good stories, but if you're just going for the holy shit factor, literally, I mean, Ken's definitely all the way up there.
He definitely was all the way up there. It was neck.
Yeah, Ken's definitely up there. If you go for the story of pulling at the heartstrings, you got to go with Sassy, right? Okay. Pulling at the heartstrings. I can totally relate to grabbing the wrong person in a fight. I have made that error before.
Oh, brother.
So,
So those are the order of the ones you like, or you just brainstorm?
I think actually I'm going to stick with that order.
I'm going to agree with that order. I'm going to go Ken, Sassy, Pop the Heat. Is that who it was? Pop the Heat that told the full Nelson story? That's what I would go with.
So, yeah, I think that's right.
You can't be being stuck 5 days in shit. I mean, there's
no. I mean, that's just
unless you were 6 days. If you were 6 days in crap, then you really got
right.
I still want to know what he ate and drank while he was there, because I don't think he could survive without fluids.
It was probably peanuts and corn. Is my guess.
I was going to say corn. He's eating corn.
So I got to be honest with you, I agree with the exact same order. There were a lot of really great stories. I enjoyed the one that Pork Chop sent. There were a couple other good ones that people told, which I liked. But probably from my perspective, those were my favorites. If anybody else would like to chime in from the chat, what your thoughts would be as far as which ones you liked, first, second, and third, would be happy to get some input. Again, we know that people were in and out because of the YouTube going down, which was very frustrating. But
YouTube YouTube had COVID.
It definitely did. I mean, it was I've never seen anything like that before. I mean, I've had obviously a lot of live problems before. There's no doubt about that. But that was crazy. That was really, really crazy. Any other thoughts? Because if not, we'll go with that order.
That's my order. Yeah, I would say definitely Ken, Sassy, Pop the Heat.
Okay. So what we'll do is we'll go with that order. Thank you, everyone else, for chiming in. Ken, which pop are you looking for? It's either Pichu, Strawberry Sour Patch, or Hormone Monstrous. Which one did you want?
Make sure you throw in a can of baby shrimp for him.
That's your responsibility. He wasn't teasing me about that. He was teasing you about that. I haven't had a vasectomy. I'm still very potent. You know what I'm saying? Of course, you still have to have that other aspect of being able to do something with it. But I'm still, if I did, then I would be.
Yeah, I have no need for that. I'm okay with blanks right now.
It wasn't really an offer, but I mean, I'm glad that you thought so. That's Ken, are you with us here, buddy?
Ken.
Your choice. Ken, he says hormones or strawberry.
My choice?
Yep.
Whichever one he wants.
He's giving it to you. He says hormones or strawberry. You choose.
I will send hormones to you. How's that, Ken? You happy with that one?
That seems appropriate for
He
Ken.
needs hormones. He definitely needs hormones. When you're down in a bunch of crap for 5 days, you lost a lot of stuff, All right, so I will send that to Ken. I'll write myself a note. All right, so Sassy, you're next. I got Strawberry Sour Patch and Pichu.
Isn't that Strawberry Sour Patch exclusive for a candy store or something?
It is. Yeah, it's exclusive for a candy store. It's actually got some good value.
That's a great pop. It really is.
It's a very cool pop. Very cool pop. Sassy wants a strawberry one. All right. Let's have a note here. And I guess that leaves Pichu for our friend Pop to Heat, and I'll get your address for all of those and get them shipped out to you. Ken, I think I have your address, and I know I've got Sassy. This is the third thing I'm sending to Sassy. Not sure what the heck is going on here, but she's got a lot of my stuff now. So that's very good.
Yeah, you sent to Kenny's one giveables, and Sassy
she's won 2 giveaways.
A month ago.
I've never had any repeat winners for my giveaways. And she's won
2 weeks in a row.
At 2, well, it's 3 weeks difference, but yeah, basically. And then this one.
A great Pichu joke. He could have used a Pichu. Mark, you got a little Pichu, but he missed out on that.
Is it the same coloring? If it's the same coloring, you got problems. That's where you have your issue.
No, but it is flocked. It's flocked, believe it or not.
Yeah. Well, the good thing about Pichu is he grows into a bigger Pikachu. So you're saying you're a grower, not a shower? Is that what you're saying?
You got it.
There you go. All right. So thank you everyone for coming. I appreciate it. Thanks guys for coming to the live. I wish it hadn't been such a craziness with all this internet, but that's just how it works sometimes. So I do appreciate you guys coming on and joining me, and it's a lot of fun. Not telling stories. I learned a lot about Mark. I've lost a little respect for him, but I have learned a lot. Mike, I never really had that much respect, so no issue.
Yeah.
I didn't poop on a sidewalk, so I don't know.
Well, those things happen. That was just one of the many pooping stories I had. That's just sad. I mean, it's sort of an ongoing thing.
That's great. Yeah, it's a good time. I had a good time. Thank you for the invite. I appreciate it.
I appreciate you allowing me, and I'm going to try to check out your live tomorrow. Hopefully, you don't have the same internet problems I had tonight. Hopefully, it goes a lot smoother. So we'll see how it goes.
What time tomorrow, Mark?
Time tomorrow?
5:30 Eastern. I'm sorry, 5:30 Central Time. Whatever. I'm not sure where you're at.
5:30 Central, so 4:30 for me.
Yeah.
6:30 for me. Okay. So everyone, make sure to go to Mark's live tomorrow for his 1,000, 1,200, whatever it is, giveaway. And who's going to be on there with you?
It'll be Beard of Pop, and then Popular Opinion will come on later. Okay. And you guys, everyone's more than welcome to pop in and say hi and all that stuff. So
that's all good. So everyone, whoever we got left, make sure to stop by and hopefully give Mark a lot of support. And we do appreciate you guys for coming. Thanks everybody for coming. We appreciate it. We may try to do something again in the future and see if we try to do something that'll be fun and interesting. Thanks, guys. Thank you, everybody.
Yes.
See you, everybody.
Bye.